have begin to share my... Yes, I'll begin to share my screen. Hello, everyone. Oh my God, where is the beginning of my lecture? Yes, but before we will touch the main topic of our today lecture and data storytelling, let's continue with practice because we have several charts from yesterday, which I want to show you. It's we could endlessly make and create beautiful chart in Excel, but we will stop with this 12. I think it's like a most popular one, a more specific chart. I want to show you them, and then we will go to theoretical part and to the little practice after the theoretical part. So I want to be here a little order. Okay, next type of chart which I want to show you, it's sorry, I want to show you the final version. It's a waterfall diagram. It's a specific diagram. It's a rare one, but accountant and financial person love it. And they are often working with Excel. So it's a normal situation. Where is my second? Yes, this is it. Waterfall. I think you know this type of chart. It looks like two bars and something between them. It could be vertical, it could be horizontal, but vertical is more classic way. So I will show you how to create it in Excel. It's not so complicated because now Excel has the button for this type of diagram. Before that, several years ago, we have to create, white spacers using bar chart and the bonus bar chart and put them one on top of the other to imitate the waterfall diagram. Now it's simpler. You just need to play a little with your data. For example, we have several products and their plan and no, I don't want to show you this story. We have several factors because for the factor analysis, it's a really suitable type of diagram. We have several factors and we have their influences on your totals, for example, on your profit or something. Profit for 15 years, profit for 16 years. So you have this simple little table and it's not enough. We have to work a little with it to make this bonus table. How we should do it? First of all, we should select all the factors for 15 years and make it auto sum. That's it. So we will have this amount under here. Again, we should select this data for all these factors and their influence, how they will influence our profit. And push auto sum. And we will have this digit under the table, who is just sum of these 4 digits. Okay. Then we will copy these elements and putting them here and write totals 15, total 16, and put on this column all the digits we have here. But we should get the difference between 16 and 15 years. How we will count it? It's 16 minus 15, or fact minus plan if you're working with different type of data. So sometimes it's like more actual, more highlighted data and the context data. So after that, you just making these 4 little calculations. We will have minus 100, like 400 minus 500, etc. So it's all the same. All these 4 digits are counted in similar way, and just drag it here. And this will just copy this digit, not just typing by hand, but you could do it. We could just write like and choose this digit. If something will change here, this table will be changed too. But it's quite simple. So we need this type of data to create waterfall diagram. So I'm selected it, go into insert, and here you could see this little ugly button. This is waterfall diagram on the top. Second life hack that we need to know when we want to create this type of diagram. If your data have the start data and finish data, we should select the finished data, push right button, and set as total. Sometimes we don't have this last element, but if we have it, we should make it the second bar, like the basics of our building, like the beginning of the waterfall and the end of the waterfall. And this is like a little river curling inside them. So this is the waterfall diagram. Let's make it a little more beautiful. For example, we have three colors inside by default. A basic one, blue is increasing of your value, orange is decision of the value, and the gray one is totals. Looks not so beautiful because totals 15, total 16 have different colors. So let's just work with it one by one, selecting and go to this bucket and make it light gray. The same color? Not the same. Okay, let's make them same shade of gray. It's not so easy. I think now it's okay. The season. It's okay to use orange for the season, and it's good choice to use blue for increasing, or you could use green, for example. It's okay too. You could just select. Maybe I could, yes, you could just use beautiful green, for example. It's okay too. Red and green or orange and blue. It looks like a beautiful color situation. No. Okay, I'll leave it blue. I think blue and orange already looks nice. What you could select your data labels, make them bigger, make them bold. You could remove grid lines, leave the axis. I think we should leave it here because sometimes these bonuses could go up. And if you want to understand what was the maximum, you could check the axis. So that's all. After this, you could just maybe make bigger this type. It's important data. Maybe make it bolder and darker. And make nice chart, like the assortment, for example. The changes in assortment had influenced. Okay, had influenced said our profit, like more than other factors or something. So we could just type the title. We could play a little with colors here, but waterfall already have 3 colors for this specific situation. So it's better not to add one more color. Maybe you could highlight with orange something of this, but it will be hard to understand what do you mean here. So that's why I'm not recommending the color, the place with color in the title. Make it more natural because the data is already have too many accents here. Now this is waterfall. It's quite a nice type of chart. You could practice a little with the plan and fact. It's the same. So who put more facted profit, for example, from products? So on the X will be different products or different managers who bring more customers to our company, etc. But the best solution is with a factor analysis. Next type of diagram is tree map. It's so simple. We have a button for this. Tree map is great for hierarchy data, like categories and subcategories, like regions and cities, countries and regions, something that is inside other variable. For example, electronics, and inside we have laptops, smartphones, televisions. So it's a popular situation. You should just select the data, insert, and again, we have a button for this type of chart, tree map. It could look interesting for your presentation and for your visualization. It's a little massive type of diagram. It's like a really colorful and big. Why big? Because we should add nice data labels. We should add value. It's not added by default. I want to change separator from comma to new line like this. And I want to make them bigger, fatter, and more visible. Because without nice and visible texts and digits, your diagram is impossible. And sometimes people just show a tree map and don't show the digits, don't show the names, just, wow, this is a beautiful rectangle, check it. It's nice. It's not so good idea. Please always think about, I think we don't have many options with alignment. I don't like this alignment. It's not so beautiful, but the bottom of alignment is turned off. Okay, so please turn on your data labels. It's the most important part. Legend is kind of okay. It's on the top. A rare situation for Excel, but still. And if we want to make the storytelling, we could make it differently. We could use colors. For example, electronics is the biggest sector, and if we want to highlight it, I'll fade a little this orange section and make it like a dark gray, maybe like this. No, a little, and this one I will make lighter, like this. It's not so good reading here, but I hope you understand the idea. It's like it's not so important. It's just some data. Don't watch here. But I want it to be a different shades of gray. Yeah, like this. And a bright blue, maybe even with bolder type. Maybe I'll reduce this text, make them not so bold, for example, maybe. Because my important part is blue one, and I want it to be highlighted like electronics, maybe like this. And then my chart will be electronics, give like a big proportion, almost half of all the profit, of all the sales in our company. Is making maybe better. Almost half of all. I think we'll spend half of all time with typing of titles, but it's important. It's really important. Yes, and again, we will use this simple data storytelling trick and color it with blue color and try to find the nice shades. It looks interesting. Now it's playing with this world. I'll make it a little lesser so it won't contrast. And now this is quite a nice chart with a storytelling effect. Again, we could use it. One more situation, there are, let me show you one version of GMAP diagram. No, I think we don't have it in Excel. Okay, in BI tool, you could use the variable as a shade of blue. Okay, I won't show it for you. It's only in Power BI. You could make it by a hand, of course, like you will make the biggest part, the dark blue, the middle part like a middle blue, and the light is like a light blue. I hope you understand this. Is like on the map, make this like in heat map. We will use a shades of color to code the digits, but it's a rare situation. Again, it's not so useful. Next one, a bullet chart. I love this chart. It's so cool. Please use it, especially if you're working with plan and fact data. It's really useful. It's 100% better than two bars, than combined bars, grouped bars, or other options for this type of data. It's really easy to create, but there is a trick on trick, and we don't have the button for this type of diagram, but it's easy to make. I'm always forgetting how to make it, but I've practiced, so I'm trying to remember. I always have to click many times to understand the order of creating it, so it's not so simple. We're going to the column chart and choose the simple one, vertical or horizontal. Of course, if your data is, oh yes, I think we will make a horizontal one. It's better for long names. Like a bar charts is the same rules. If you have long names, put the bar chart on the side. So now we have these not so beautiful bars like side by side. Ugly. What we should do next? Check who is more important, plan or fact. Fact is more important. It's like the actual data, not some delusional planning. So I have to select my fact, and I'm going to this menu, and pushing the series overlap to 100%. I'm making my bars overlap one over another. Then I want to change a little, make it more narrow, more little, the weight of my bar. Then I'm selecting the plan, push secondary axis, and trying to make it fatter, like this. So again, let me play with it. No, they're overlapping together. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, selecting one, making it 100. And yes, that's it. Go into secondary axis and then changing the gap wide. And then our bars begin to live like a different life. Now I want to make my fact thinner than plan. It's not so simple. You should always click between primary axis and secondary axis and choosing this row of data or that row of data and drag to these wiggles from the left to the right. And now I have that I want. I have my plan as a context fat bar, and I have my fact on the top, like a thin, like a bullet from the gun. Now let's make it more beautiful. We'll check for axes. This chart have one problem, 2 axes. And if you check it, you could see that on the wizard rule, we have that fact is bigger than plan. But on the chart, we couldn't see it because axes are not synchronized. So we should go to the smallest axis and here make him equal. This one is 160,000. Let's type here the same, enter. Now you could see that the fact is bigger than plan here and here. So this person will get some premium, some bonus. Now we could hide the axis here and here. We don't need it. We could hide the element. We should put a legend on the top, like always. And we should add the data labels. I'll select my fact and add data labels only for fact. I'll make it nice and fat. Control B or this button, make it bigger. And I'll change the colors. Because the plan is a context color, I'll make it light gray, like this. And the orange is nice color, but a little too aggressive. Maybe I'll use dark blue, stylish, beautiful. Maybe I should make it a little too darker, like this. And again, if you have 2 rows of data, please color your data label in the color of your data. So no one will have some misunderstanding. Don't be misled by this. So this is a beautiful, like natural chart, like plan and fact. You already could use it on some type of dashboard or something, or just beautiful chart. But I'll make these types bigger, maybe what I want to make it better. And the title bigger. Let's add a little data storytelling, how we should do it. Before we do it, I'll reduce this blue color because I will use color for data storytelling, not for showing the data. I'll choose just some dark gray. I think this color will be okay. And the color with dark gray, this data. It's a natural. And now I want to tell you a story about someone. Maybe about Priya, who is doing great. Maybe about Ivan, who is doing not so good. In the practice file about color, please practice a little with different accents and different colors. And now I'll just choose Ivan and color it with red. And our story will be about poor guy Ivan, who just couldn't make his plan. We should send Ivan to vacation. So he will rest a little and be full of power to work again. And again, we could highlight him with the color in the legend too and connect this legend with our date, the title with our the same technique everywhere. So this is the bullet chart, quite nice element. And last one, it's not so I think it's already quite a common chart, especially when you're working with some polls, some surveys, some please answer this question, what you love more. And if you have this data from 1 to 5 with some marks, with some balls, or with some like, dislike, natural, somewhat like data. I think it's quite common now. So how should you work with it? You have the data in this format, like something. For example, we have different opinion about our products, our poor tea, and or maybe some elections, or maybe some, I don't know, trainers. And we could just have this data, select it, and go into the charts section. We will use this 2D bar, horizontal one, and 100% stacked bar, because we don't need the absolute data. This is a percents from many people who answer the poll. We already have the percents as our data, and we want to show it as a percent data like this. We already have this chart for such situation. Let me play a little with it. How to make it beautiful? First of all, when you're telling some story about the data, it's important to make a nice sorting. Here is a bad sorting. In our data was sorted by dislike, because we want to make accent how many people dislike our teas because we want to improve situation, for example. But in chart, as you could see, the order is reversed because Excel somehow just love to reverse your order. Why? No one knows, but how to fix it? Select your axis. Go to, where is it? Yes, go to axis option and categories in reverse order. Just put this mark here. Nice. Now we have the leader, Tata T Gold, like the worst opinion somehow. And we will tell maybe a story about that. Now let's just fix this chart like any bar chart, like any line chart, make it beautiful, remove the green lines, put the legend on the top. Where is legend? Legend here on the top. And I don't like this percent axis here. I don't want to delete it, but I want to see it on the bottom. Let's fix it. Where is it? Next to axis? Yes, low. But it's not working because we reversed the chart and now the low is on the top. So we should choose high. And it's going to the bottom. Ta-da! Super Excel. Why? Because don't worry, it's a little tricks, but still, if you have some problem with it, you could always ask like ChatGPT how to fix some strange axis in Excel. It will help you. But for now, I will recommend you these tricks. Okay, now let's make our bars fatter. Gap width, let's make it smaller. Like in normal bar chart, we have to make the padding between data smaller than data, but not too much, like maybe one third, something like this. Let's make text bigger. It's important that our readers will see the data, will understand the text. Maybe I will color my axis in gray. Where could I do it? I'm not so sure. Maybe here. Yes. Not so bright because no one will check. will check this axis. Okay, and now we already could work a little with data storytelling. For example, if I want to highlight disliked, I should fade all other colors. But let's begin from a simple, not storytelling chart. Let's make just simple, nice, cute chart. Because with such data, like from dislike to like a lot via natural, it's really beautiful to use divergent palettes. We discussed it on the last section. For example, from green to red via white. So dislike is like more green emotion. Not, it's red emotion. It's like a bad one. Somewhat dislike, it's like a red, but not so red. Maybe it will be, let me find the shade of red. Maybe a little light, like this. Okay, it's also pink, like dark pink, like not so good, not beautiful and easy pink, but dangerous pink. Natural, we could just make light gray, like this. Somewhat like and like a lot, we could make bluish shades or maybe green. It will be a nice idea. Maybe to use just green color. Maybe I want more beautiful color somehow. What's the palette? It's not so, what's green? Okay, I won't spend our time with looking for beautiful shades. Now you could see the green data, the red data. It's easy to distinguish these two parts of answers, but this is the most important part of all polls and surveys to check what's the good part, what's the awful part in our situation, in our topic, and to see it with your eyes. Now it's easy to make it. We could add data labels. Sometimes we need them. Maybe you could make them bold, maybe you could make them white or black. It's not so important. Okay, but if you want to tell one specific story, you could remove second color. So if your story is good, you could remove red color. If your story is bad, you could remove green color. So let's do it. Like there are many customers. I'm not sure I wrote it. I already forgot the English. Sorry, customers, clients. That's it. Clients who don't like our tea. How they could. Our tea. Something like this. Make it bigger. We could make it fatter. And who don't like our tea, we could highlight it with red. And now we'll make the accent of the red data. And I will reduce the color accent from the positive data. I'll just use dark gray and light gray for this type of data, like this. So you could see there's a clean accent on the red part of the chart. So clean and so easy to understand what we're talking about. And you're helping your readers and your audience to understand your idea. Because when they're trying to read your data, like if you just showing them the table or the by default version of the chart, they will be just, and what's going on here and what, and they won't listen you because people could read or listen, but they're really bad doing it altogether. So I love this type of diagram. Please use it if you have this type of data. Okay, now let's go to the theory. I'll make my slides full screen. I'll drink a little water. Yes, because we will talk about data storytelling. About stories, fairy tales, not. No, sorry, I'll touch maybe this topic, but not. Okay, there are always problems at data project. But what are the most dangerous of them? That who kill your project, especially your data project. Maybe something like data problems. No, you could, your data could be broken. It could be storage in strange formats, and you could be like work part of half of your day only with fixing, cleaning your data. Maybe, but we have data engineers, we have special skills who will help us with these problems. Maybe it's data connection problems. When you have databases, you have Excels, you have, again, different formats, Power BI, Google Sheets, it's awful. But still, when we have time, we could fix all these problems. Tools. Yes, it's a little problem, but you could just train yourself. You could check some training course like this one and understand a little some tool and this limitation. Maybe you could spend a week on it, maybe months. It's about the tool. So it's not a big problem. Maybe design, like, oh my God, beautiful colors, design system and company. Yes, but it's not so crucial, not so big problem for us. No, it's not a problem. Problem is communication. It's a really big problem because you could spend a big amount of time on working with your data, cleaning, fixing, uploading, converting, making beautiful charts, showing it to people, and people will just like, and what? Sorry, I don't have time for your speech. Goodbye. I have meetings and the kittens in my phone. Sorry, bye-bye. And it's so hard to grab their attention, to put them on the table and make them listen you and make them to understand you and your data. Because, okay, you have the time, maybe 2 weeks, to work with data, to understand your data, to find the insights, but they only have maybe half an hour on some meeting to consume your data, to consume your ideas and your insights. So you have to suggest it for them, not don't show them data, show them the insight, the perfect visualization if you're working with data. So there is storytelling with data that is helping us to communicate with the data and with the charts. Here you could see a really long and ugly definition of it from the Wikipedia. The Cole Netflix and Brent Dykes made it, so I made it shorter. Storytelling with data, and when you're mixing data visualization with storytelling, and your goal is to persuade the audience to make a decision or to take an action in order to create business or social value. So data storytelling in business and for business is always used, for example, for communication between departments, for communication with clients, with audience, with anyone, even inside one department. We always need to communicate. And when you're working with data more and more, the communication is needed more often too. So yes, we need to build this communication with data. How can you make your data tell your story, not just something? Of course, there are several examples. Here, one chart would just talk for itself. For example, this is an interesting chart that shows how measles was disease after vaccine introduced. It's just heat map. It's not the best one. It's not the best that visualization, but it's showing that in dynamic, in several states of US, you could see how like we don't have problems with measles anymore after the vaccine was introduced. One chart is telling you this story. You could watch it, but you already understand the idea. You could, oh my God, and what's the data do you have there? Is it okay? But you already understand the message because the chart is talking for itself. Check the chart on the left. It's just colorful noodles, and we don't have some story here, just some data. And check the chart on the right. It even has the same title, but it's already the story about Brazil. What's going on in Brazil? It was like on the high, then declined, and then on the high again. Why? Maybe it was economic disaster, and maybe again some economic growth, or maybe they was implemented some ecological programs. What's going on there? It's already something, some story inside this chart, not just data. So always think about what story and what's the message you want to show. How to do it? There are two types of charts of slides. When you're like showing some presentation, they have vertical logic and horizontal logic. Vertical logic is more like the topic of our course, so I will talk more about it. Here is the power of title, the more important part. And everything on the slide should support the title. A simple example, we found life on the Mars. So you could show Mars, you could show life, you could show the person who found it, and everything will be about the same. We don't talk about some different topics here. We just support the title. When we're working with data, it will be the same. We have the title, we have the chart that's supporting the title, and maybe we have a little text or annotation that is supporting the title too, and make some notes, some context. It's often about color, because color, it's a great helper with the vertical logic. Let's show some examples. As here, we have several lines, but the illicit drug usage, you could see this is the orange line and orange text in the title. It's easy to understand what all this about. All data and all elements that don't help us, they deleted. This is an example of just data and several insights on the top. So the chart don't help much to consume this data. This just someone created it in some Excel or maybe in Python library and show it to person. It's so hard to suggest it, so hard to understand it. But if we play a little with it, we could make nice title and tell a little about disability answers awards. Maybe we should tell later about children's situation on the next slide. Maybe we will tell later about retired workers, but it will be different topic, different chart, and we will show it differently. So don't try to put everything at one slide. It's impossible. One slide, one message. One chart, one message. John Schwabish is great. He's checked this book, data presentation. I'll recommend it later. So this is the example. I was like a little nervous, like, do storytelling. Yeah, so let's go on. I want to show you several more examples about data storytelling because many of data storytelling are journalistic, as you could see before. Some data from the internet, some wide topic like ecology, economic, but I think 99% of all data users and Excel users are not data journalists. So we need these simple cases of use data stories in Excel. For example, my readers sent me this beautiful chart, like just some presentation from some local community about spending their budgets. It's just some charts with some crazy 3D pictures, some types, not so beautiful. So, and it's so hard to understand because like, and what? Something, this is it, maybe it's good, is it bad? We have some red color, maybe it's not so good. So let's help people to understand it. We could just make a nice bullet chart with the same data and highlight one message. That after decreasing spending in these years, we will make everything nice and clean with our budgeting. This could be one point of this chart. So on the left, we've just making some chart by default. Here we're trying to support our title with charts. For example, this is nice, the dynamic, where to show dynamic of ethnicity, they use pie charts. Somehow you could understand the data, like before it was almost white people in Birmingham, and nowadays it's so a big diversity of people in Birmingham, but it's so hard to read, it's so many data. Maybe it's just not the appropriate type of chart, because as you remember, a pie chart is really limited and have really many trips and ticks, yes, that you should use to make it nice. So you could just change it and make nice and clean, normalized bar chart. You could highlight a message about Asian people. You could highlight message about white British Irish people, or maybe just make it like two message in one chart. I think it's not the best idea, but still it somehow worked. You could see this dynamics, that orange is making bigger and white British Irish is reducing a little, maybe. So on the left again, we're just showing somehow the data. Here we're trying to show our insight, already show, because we have the time to think about our data. Well, we are experts, we're not just showing you something, we add our expert opinion on it. So you could show just simple, clean and nice data, or maybe you could add nice title and to support it on the chart. Always try to support it. Always check, is your title and your chart about one thing? Is it clean and clear, that 50 percentage point? Where do you show this 15 percentage point on your chart? And you could add some annotations again. Okay, we have some average view rating. What's going on here in our company? Is it okay? Is it good or bad? When you add some title, some annotation, and some color elements on the chart, it will be easy to understand your insight. Oh, here's something about ratings, so that are the line more than 3 days. Okay, awful situation. There is Koli, a great data storyteller. She recommends to work with your data stories on this manual. First, you should to understand the context. So like, okay, you have the data, you want to create some data story, maybe someone told you to make a presentation on the topic, to investigate some data and make some conclusions. So you try to understand for whom you are showing your data, how you would support your opinion, and what do you want? What do you want from this audience? Maybe you want promotion for yourself. Maybe you want the money for your budget. Maybe you want to hire more people. So you have to understand what do you want. And you have to make all your slides, all your charts to support your wantings. Okay, after you understand the context, you have to choose nice, effective diagram for your data, eliminate the clutter like we've done on our practice, and focus the attention. This is this color trick. Reduce and fade all that you don't need. Next step is telling a story. It's like about the presentation, beginning, climax, etc. We won't touch this topic on our short limited course about Excel, but still it's really interesting. But this is the next step. After you will be great on this stage with creating nice chart and focusing, then you will have to work on this, on telling the data story. So yes, we will do in Excel this part. For the next part, we will go to PowerPoint. But these three blocks are great to make in Excel. Let me tell you one example from Koli book. It's too many letters, we won't read them. I'll just make it a short version for you. So what's the story? They had two person fired last year, and they need to hire more, 2 person more. They have to make a presentation for director to demonstrate with demonstrating the data about requesting, like the amount of their workload, and to show with this data that they lack of 2 employees and they need to hide them. So please help, please, dear director, give us 2 more people. I love this example, so I will show it for you here. So this is the first version of the chart. It's just some data, ticket trend, like ticket volume received, like the amount of their job, and ticket volume processed, like the job that done. Okay, it's not so clean, it's ugly. So let's work with it little by little, like we're doing with other charts before. First of all, we will clean it. No, we will change the type of diagram because this one is just impossible. Line chart is better for dynamic because bars are not so good. Maybe they will work with 12 bars, but 12, it's 24 already. And if you couldn't understand anything here, just change the type of diagram. Okay, now it's a line chart. Now we will make it clean because it's so many lines, some pointers, some markers, ugly, and the diagonal text and legend on the bottom. So we will fix it with little by little. We will remove elements, we will fix the legend and the x-axis, and we will remove the legend from the bottom and put it near the lines. So we will name the lines like directly. It's a nice trick, especially when you have a static data. In data storytelling, it's almost static. So it's a nice trick. Let's remember it. And now we will remove the color because we don't need color here. We didn't decide about our story. Now we have nice and clean chart. Let's add elements a little by little. We will add a color again. Now we're wanting, we want to show the processed data, that it's lower than we need. So we want to focus on this data. We could choose different elements. For example, we could color with red the padding between 2 lines, or we could color with red received line, maybe. But this choose of highlighting is nice. Then let's add a little digits. Data labels is always a good idea, not too much. Again, you could see the color of the data label is the same as the data. It's important when you have 2 data lines. Let's type nice title. It's important to make it clean. Let's add the context. This is the power of storytelling. We're trying to put important elements on the chart. I think this example, it's like too much text. Maybe I'll just write 2 employees quit in May. And other part, I will just talk by my mouth, like we nearly kept up, la, 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 la. But sometimes when you have to send your chart via email or make it PDF and send it somewhere, you could write your notes on the slide. It's nice idea too. We should put on the bottom like data source, because if we want that other people will believe us and believe in our data, so we are showing our data, we're telling them you could check it. If you have some problems with my analysis, please do it. So now this data is easier to read, but let's add a call to action. Nice title. Please approve the hire of 2 FTEs. So the main idea of our chart, what is our goal, what we need from our reader, from our audience, from our director. Please give us two people. It's so easy to understand that we don't have the people. We have some problems with fulfilling our professional duties. Please give us. That's why we have this problem. You could easily see it on the chart. And of course, we could tell the story one by one. We don't show all data at once. We could show the data in little, with deleting an element. But this is already about data stories. I won't touch this topic. To make a little animation from your chart, it's a beautiful idea. But for now, let's talk about static. So check the difference. Please give us two more people. We can't cope. Or nice data that supports your message. Just chart, just some data, and data storytelling chart. Showing the data on the left and telling the story on the right. So this one is best for presentation, for your slides. Let me show you several techniques of data storytelling. We already practiced several of them, but I want to touch them deeper. There is nice site, Data Comics, GitHub.io. They collected many data comics. I love data comics. I have the channel about it on Telegram, and I'm drawing a little myself. And they collected, because data comics is not so popular situation when you're showing your data with comics. Still, they collected it and they analyzed it and found the patterns in it. So you could check the site. It's really interesting. But I want to show you several more popular techniques for data storytelling from this resource. So first one, the text legend. We already used it like a dozen of times or maybe 20. Next one is highlighting. Highlighting one dot, one element, and make a little annotation with line or with arrow and the text block. And maybe space annotation is the same, but more heavy annotation on it. Let's practice a little. I'll show you how to make these beautiful techniques, several of them, and I will show you more of them. Where is our chart? I will send a link. Here is it. Please check it. Open it. I'll open it on my computer. It's data storytelling. Yes. I will close my charts. Yes. Color highlighting. First technique. We already made it so many times, so I won't stop here. You already could see that we could highlight one part of data or maybe one element of data. For example, not all line, not all line, but maybe only two elements on the end, like past 3 months, for example. We could highlight only the important part of our data. Annotation. Again, okay, we highlighted our data. We could add more context. We could just put some text block here. We already tried it. And type some insight about the data. December, not maybe Mike was hired. Not fired, hired. Yes. So that will help us to understand why we have this anomaly in our data. So I could make it red, I could make it bold, I could make it aligned by center. You could make some border, but I won't recommend it. Maybe just little arrow. I will draw arrow myself with shapes. Insert shapes you could find here. Just line or maybe arrow, you could just choose for your heart. Like this. And let's make it red, make it red. Where I could work with line. No, I couldn't find it. Like this, red button. Okay, thank you, Excel. It's so easy to find. So this is a little annotation. You could make it bigger, smaller, like in the example of call Netflix with a line, with a vertical line. It's okay too. So any type of annotation are great. Grouping. This technique helps us to group the data. For example, we want to tell not about one element. We want to tell about 2 or 3 elements in our data. So we could use the color to group it. We will use the shades of one color to group element and the shades of other color to group other element. So we could divide all our elements for 2 groups, like we've made it for with divergent palette for our survey data. For example, the two departments C are making more than the half of all profit. It's about budget, but don't worry. I'll select these two departments one by one. I want one of them make dark blue, second make light blue, like this. I'm not sure it was the same sheet, this one, yes. And other elements, I will make shades of a gray, like I've already made it for you several times, like this. So now we have this grouping. I'm not sure with the shades. It's not. We could use the same color like the gray for all the data because we have these white paddings. We could use just one shade of gray. We could use several shades of gray. Just I don't like this whitish color. Yeah, like this. Yes. So now we're grouping our data. You have to choose more similar shades, maybe than mine. Maybe this one and this one, for example. Like, so now we could highlight who is this two department. This is a two green and dark green department, something like this. So it's easy to understand who we're talking about, which department we're talking about. Let me make it a little darker, like this, maybe. Two departments. It's easy to understand who is this two. It's a different color, but still we could understand it. So use color for grouping too if you need. Context zone. There is tricks in Excel. You could make a complicated combo diagram and highlight some and make some zones on your chart. But I will show you a little simple trick. Just you could get a shape, a rectangle, and just cover the time period or the several elements which you are talking about, and make them a little transparent. Like this. And of course, I will change the color, maybe to orange. I will remove the line, no line, like this. So, and I could highlight my data with the same color, like this. In past 3 months, you could see some changes. It's easy to understand what we're talking about. Elsa, yes, we will continue with prediction. It's the same story. Of course, it could be some little block, like please check this data. But better, you could make it with some symbol highlighting. For example, if you have some anomaly, you could just use simple symbol, for example, round, to highlight it. If you put shift, it will be more roundish. I will leave solid line, but I'll remove fill. I'll make it nice and fat line, like this. Maybe I will make it red if it's something bad. And I will type anomaly. Don't worry about other text, I just won't fix it. And I will use this color to grab attention for this zone. Let me check the chart. Oh. And I'll return to context line, which I missed. Yes, context lines. Sometimes, especially with bars, we need to add some context. For example, average, meaning plan, target or something. So you could put it, use some combo chart. Of course, you could adjust line inside of your chart with adding the special data column. Yes, you could do it. It's a little complicated, so I won't touch this topic. You could Google this technique if you want. I'll show you that just the simplest one. You could check the line. You could make your line and put it on your chart. Where to put it? Let's understand what's the average fact, for example. Let's go for our table, average. It's one of the simple formulas we've touched. Click, select, break. 46 plus 46, it's a little above this data. You could show the axis for this situation, for example. Axis, not title, not. You could show the horizontal axis and check. It's not so useful, sorry. And you could check it and fix your line more directly, more like specific. But for now, I'll just make it nice and fat. It will be so fat that if I missed a little, it won't be a problem. Make it a dot. Where is dot? Here. Like this. And make it a nice color, maybe red, because our plant problems are under red. And of course, you should type something about this line so anyone could understand what is it. Like AVG 46 322. And I make it bold. I'll make it red. Maybe not too big, just some context. Oh, I will remove fill from my rectangle. I'll remove a line. And now I could close and beautiful put it near the line. Maybe it's too bold. Maybe like this. It's still a context data. Maybe it's too bold line, too like this, maybe. So now anyone could understand that those guys who under average got like bad, want to get bonus, for example, got bad marks for this quarter. So, and the last one, prediction. What if when the data that you are showing is not a factual data? Maybe this is some prediction, some assumption of you, then please use a dotted line to show it. Just select your data one by one and use this dotted line for these parts. I think gray, we don't need to make it dotted because it's our plan. Let's type plan. And this will be fact, for example. So, and we need the line to divide the plan, the prediction from factual information. Let's insert just some simple line again. I repeat, you could do it with some making with chart, some playing with charts, but it's too complicated. I think for our course, I won't touch it. So just put a little line to September, because September is the last month of the actual data. And after September, there will be a prediction. I think it could be dotted, maybe differently dotted. It could be gray. It could be, I think, gray and a little fatter. So anyone could see it. Something like this. And again, we need a text to annotate. What is it? What is the line? Is it average? No, this is a future or maybe prediction. You could type it somehow. Prediction. Maybe prognose. Again, you should remove line from your rectangle and fill from your rectangle, because this rectangle by default, this ugly. Just select it. No fill, no line. Now prediction. Yes. And I'll make it a little more grayish because it's annotation. And maybe this line, I'll make it more, maybe make it lighter, like this. So again, and you could put a transparent rectangle. Where is it? Where is it? Yes. You could get this one and put it here too. And combine two methods. Maybe you don't need it. So that's it. There are many other storytelling techniques, but I think these 7 is more popular. And if you practice them, or maybe if you know that you could use them, your story became better, easy to and more understandable. So let me finish with my slides. It's just 2 more. Oh yes, what I wanted to do. I want to give you a little practice file. Maybe when you want to create your own personal project, you could begin with this data. But what to do if you want to practice with data storytelling? There is these 3 books and 4 authors, yes, that I recommend to you. It's of course called Netflix Storytelling with Data. I love it so much. I have it on my bookshelf. It's How Charts Lie of Alberto Cairo and Better Presentation of Jonathan Schwabish. Brent Dykes, it's a nice author too, but I think, you will find everything in this book too, somehow. But you could read them. And there is nice reading list of information is beautiful on this website. You could check for more data visualization books if you want to touch like similar topics like data art, dashboards, or something. So, but if you want to practice yourself, I'll give you this file. I'll send it to you. It's a, where is our chat? Chat? Yes, here is it. I'll send it to you here. So there is a simple data set and simple charts, and you could try to practice to create your little story. Here is a simple instruction, and so you could find one story for you in this data, change this chart for the better solution, choose a story, change the type chart. Oh my God, it's some typos here. It's my version, don't worry. Clean the chart, use the color to highlight the story that you've chosen about one product or other, and then try to make nice, interesting title. So this is the one practice, a simple one. The second is a more complicated data. The fake data set, it's almost fake. It looks like real one about the, again, disabled, retired workers, disabled person, and other about awards and some money supplies, social benefits. Dynamics. Here's the basic charts. You could change it if your story could be different from some dynamic. Here's the stories which you could tell based on this chart. And again, a little manual how to do it. So please, when you have time, please practice a little, because you will spend like 15 minutes on this practice, but your fingers will remember the skill. Because when you're hearing something, you will forget it like in a week. If you're making something, you will forget it like in 3 years. It's a better. So please practice with this simple chart. Don't save it. You could send me your, you could save it to our practice folder, or you could send me a screenshot how you've done it in my LinkedIn, for example. I'll be happy. Please connect with me. So that's it. I'd love to see your practice if you have time to do it.